Okay, this might have been one of the most weirder videos I've done, but today we're going to be doing UFC fighter tier list based on how likable they are. So we've got S tier for the fighters that are hilarious or just really likable, and then for D tier we've got fighters that are just completely unlikable. Starting off with Colby Covington. Now personally, I'm going to put him in B tier. Sometimes it can just be really annoying, like you're just trying to enjoy, you're just trying to enjoy a press conference, or you're trying to enjoy something and this guy will just be rambling on in his squeaky voice, or he'll insult a fighter for absolutely no reason. But a lot of the time it is funny, like the way he riled up Jorge Masvidal at their press conference and the press conferences with Kamaru Usman, they were very funny. I feel like Colby Covington's kind of, you love him or hate him, but I'm personally in between. It can get annoying sometimes and it can just be forced, but I'm glad he's a good addition to the roster, but I don't have too strong feeling for him. Next, we're going to go with Rampage Jackson. I'm going to put Rampage Jackson at A tier. He was very funny back in the day. He didn't, he wasn't the most vocal. He wasn't, cracking jokes or doing things like Colby Covington, but especially with Ariel Helwani, he was a very funny guy back in the day. And yeah, that's all we can say, a very funny guy. It's quite hard to not like him. A lot of the time lost his temper, but I don't know, we move. Then we're going to go with Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is S tier, bro. He's such a nice guy, bro. I mean, I know he's coming off a loss to Bilal Muhammad, but before the Bilal Muhammad fight, even after the Bilal Muhammad fight, bro, he's a BMF. Fought 3 times between 4 months. Insane, man. 2 back-to-back pay-per-views as well. This guy, he's very likable as well. He's a likable guy. He's funny. There's no way you can't like Gilbert Burns. I feel like Brazilian fighters in general, you either like them or you don't. I feel like there's no in between Brazilian fighters. Or that, no. I mean, some Brazilian fighters can be likable, like Oliveira and Burns, and then some are just completely unlikable. I don't know. Maybe we'll come across one. Then we're gonna go Stephen Thompson. I'm putting him at A tier. Obviously he's a really, really nice. In fact, no, I'm gonna put him at B tier. No, I'll put him at A tier. He's a really, really nice guy, but obviously he doesn't ever really get into drama with anyone, so we don't really get to see that funny side of him. Like with Rampage Jackson and Covington, they're almost always in beef, especially Covington. Whereas I say Stephen Thompson is never really in beef. He's really nice, knows when to shut up and stuff. Not like he's always talking, but he's a really nice guy. It's just he's never I don't know. He's not really a guy to make jokes. His personality is just being nice and being a kickboxer. But you can't not like that. I'm going to put him in A tier. Then we're going to go with Andrei Arlovski. I'm going to put him in C tier. From what I've heard, he's not really a nice guy. Apparently backstage after a couple of his fights he's always having tantrums, and apparently he's just a moody, angry guy. I've never really seen it first hand, not as IRL, but I've never seen it online. But like I said, from what I've heard, apparently he's just not likable. Never really vocal in press conferences because he's never in press conferences because he's always on the prelims. Fight style, I mean, he's an OG. I believe he's now the longest person on the longest active fighter on the UFC roster, but he just always looks grumpy, and apparently he's not really the most likable person backstage. Then we're going to go Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen, I'm going to put in A tier. I'll put him in A tier. I'll put him above both of these guys. His trash talk back in the day was wild. But if we're ranking this off how likable they are, yeah, he's at A tier because he did rile a lot of people. He insulted the entire country of Brazil. There are a lot of people who really dislike Chael Sonnen. They dislike his trash talk. They think he went too far. Personally, I don't have a problem with him. He's funny. He had some of the best one-liners in history. The way he riled up Tito Ortiz in Bellator. Yeah, very funny guy. Likeable in my opinion. Yeah. Then we're going to go Conor McGregor. I'm going to put Conor McGregor at B tier. Conor McGregor now, I'm not a fan of him, man. He's just a drunken mess is what he is nowadays. Not fighting. He just looks like a drunken mess. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of him past few years. So if I was to rank him on nowadays, I'd put him in D or C. But back in the day, he was funny. He was like the Chael Sonnen of the new era. He had the trash talk, he had the fight style, he had the, it was a respectable guy. Pretty much respectable before the Khabib fight. I put him in B tier though. A lot of people like him. He's either your least favourite or your favourite fighter. So yeah, I put him at B tier. Then we're going to go with Charles Oliveira, again a Brazilian, S tier. How can you not like Charles Oliveira? He's fun. He's a very fun fight style. He's a nice guy, really nice guy. He's got an entertaining personality. He's even got a little bit of trash talk on him if we saw it at the Islam Makhachev press conference. If you don't think Charles Oliveira is likeable, you're probably a fan of the Dagestanis, let's be honest. Then I'm going to go TJ Dillashaw. Again, I'm going to put him at C tier, man. Behind Arlovski. I don't like him. In fact, I'm putting him at D tier, man. I don't like TJ Dillashaw. He's very immature, talking about D's nuts in the Aljamain Sterling press conference. He wasted a title fight with Sterling as well. Comes in injured, holding the division up. Took steroids. He's just not a likeable guy, man. He's a snake as well. Yeah, he's just not a likeable guy. He's TJ Dillashaw. Never really funny, just vocal, just trash, really. Then we're going to go Khabib. I'll put him at C tier. There's a lot of his takes that are quite bad, you know. The thing with Artem, he's not really funny. Islam's funnier than Khabib, in my opinion, but I'll put him at C tier, sorry. Yeah, he's somewhat likeable, I guess, but again, if you're a Dagestani, you'll love him. Personally, I don't dislike Khabib. I'm not talking about his fighting, by the way. I'm talking about him as a person. I don't dislike him. It's just every single time I see Khabib, he's ranting. Besides when he's with Daniel Cormier, he's ranting. But when he's with Daniel Cormier, he can be quite funny. Talking to Daniel Cormier, where is he? I'll put Daniel Cormier. Where the fuck is Daniel Cormier? Alright, we'll move on. Max Holloway. Max Holloway, I'll put at A tier. I'll put him above Sonnen. He has trash talk, not exactly like big trash talk, but he's had it in the past. You know, he likes to talk. He likes to talk with Volk in the third fight. He's not a huge trash talker, but he can trash talk. Even in the octagon with Calvin Kattar, fight style extremely fun. The gatekeeper of the featherweight division, really respectable and nice. Sounds like a 12-year-old, but you cannot hate Max Holloway. You cannot hate Max Holloway. He's so likeable, man. If you don't like Max Holloway, you've probably got something wrong with you, bro. But yeah, Max Holloway A tier. Daniel Cormier, anyway. I'll put Daniel Cormier at C. I'll put him at the back of B tier. He comes across as a nice guy, but I don't really like him. His commentary, man. I'm not a fan of his commentary. He's always just... He's so biased. If there's a fighter that he trains with or a fighter that he likes, that's all he's going to talk about. He's just very biased. Like I said, it's quite hard to hate him. He's not a hateable guy. I put him above McGregor, actually. I'll put him at the top of B tier. He's not a hateable guy. He can be somewhat funny as well, but I don't know. I feel like when I hear more people talking about Daniel Cormier, it's more for negative reasons than positive reasons nowadays. Obviously a great champion, but it's what it is. Then we're going to go with another commentator, Michael Bisping. Personally, I'll put him in B tier, and I'll put him behind McGregor. Personally, I don't have a problem, but I know a lot of people hate Bisping. He's got even worse commentary than Daniel Cormier. He just goes off topic all the time. His videos, he's just saying the most basic stuff, but I feel like he's got... Well, back in the day, he had good trash talk. He could trash talk pretty well. Fight style was meh. But he's got a pretty good relationship with most fighters. He's got a decent sense of humour on him. I'll put him at B tier, but again... he feels, I don't know, man. Sometimes he can try too hard to be funny and it'll just be awkward, and on commentary it's a bit bad. So I'll put him at the back of B tier. He's not unlikable, so I'm not going to put him in C tier, but yeah, I'll put him in D tier, B tier. Then we've got Darren Till. Darren Till, I'll put above Bisping in B tier. Darren Till's just arrogant, man. He doesn't really... He's thrown his career away, talking about boxing now, even though he's not even made a career for himself in UFC or MMA. He's just there now. His trash talk was always never the best. When he tried trash talking, who was it, Leon Edwards, that was never the best. His fight style is quite fun, but he can't defend a takedown to save his life. Yeah. Darren Till's at B tier. He's not really the most hateable person. He's never really done anything to make anyone hate him. I mean, he has had like 4 kids that he just dumped across different countries, but yeah, quite arrogant. I don't know. I'm putting him in a B tier. I don't really have an opinion on him. I don't like him, but I don't hate him. I don't know. Kevin Holland. I'm going to put Kevin Holland just behind Wonderboy in A tier. I feel like Kevin Holland, he's always beefing with people, whether it be Masvidal, whether it be Hamzat Chimaev. He is beefing with people quite often, but this guy's the BMF, always willing to fight no matter what. He was willing to fight Jack Della Maddalena literally like 15 hours before the card started at UFC 290 this weekend. Him and Wonderboy were jokes. Nice guy, good sense of humour as well. In fact, I'm going to put him above. I'm going to put him behind Sonnen as well. Really nice guy. Good sense of humour on him. Kevin Holland, great fighter. Yeah, I don't see how you can hate Kevin Holland unless your name's Hamzat or you're Masvidal. I don't think they hate each other anymore. I don't see how you can hate Kevin Holland personally. He's a nice guy. Yeah. Then we're going to go with Robert Whittaker. Unfortunately, he got starched by Dricus du Plessis this weekend. But Robert Whittaker, for me, I put him in A tier, and I put him just above Wonderboy Thompson. He has got a sense of humour on him in the press conference. You know, when that fan called him out and he was like, "Look at your size, mate. Look how fucking small you are, mate." He doesn't really say much. He's quite quiet. He's really nice, though. He's got a really good fight style. Again, just a quiet, nice guy, to be honest with you, with a bit of sense of humour on him. Oh man, he got starched on this weekend though. But yeah, Robert Whittaker, not much to say. Quiet, nice, can't hate him. Not funny enough for anything to put him in S tier. He doesn't really talk much, but he's a likeable guy. In fact, I'll put him behind Wonderboy Thompson just because he's a little bit too quiet. But, you know. Then we're going to go with Jamal Hill. I haven't seen too much of Jamal Hill. I've seen him beef with Paul Craig and talk about some of it. I've seen him in a lot of videos. He seems like a fun guy. I'll put him in the top of B tier. I haven't really seen much of Jamal Hill because he's kind of just bursted into the light heavyweight scene or light heavyweight title contention pretty quickly. Don't dislike him. Don't really know anything about him to say I like him. I'll put him in B tier though. Yeah, he just looks jokes, but I need to know more about him. I need to know more about Jamal Hill. He needs to show his personality more on fight. I know he's waiting for Prohaska. Talking of Prohaska, where is he? Oh, whenever I'm looking for a fighter, I can't find them, man. Here he is. Yuri Prohaska, I'll put him B tier as well. I'll put him behind Covington. No, I'll put him above them too. He doesn't really say much. He's not really English, so he's kind of hard to find any personality. I don't think he's ever really trash talked. But his fight style is really good. He seems really likeable. I'm going to put Jan Blachowicz there as well. Where is he? They're pretty similar in terms of personality. Just nice guys, really. Yeah, just nice guys with a fun fight style. To be honest with you, Yuri Prohaska, one of the most entertaining fighters in the UFC. Yeah, Volkanovski. I'm going to put him in an A tier. I'll put him behind Rampage Jackson. Yeah, he's kind of like Robert Whittaker, but the one who talks more. Really, really, really entertaining fight style. Decent. He knows how to control a press conference. Doesn't overdo the trash talk. Doesn't really ever trash talk, but he will if he has to. Yeah, Volkanovski's such a good fighter, man. If he was a little bit funnier, he might be able to get on the other end of A tier or maybe even S tier. He doesn't have that charm that He doesn't have that charm that Oliveira or Gilbert Burns has. But Volkanovski, very, very nice guy. If you don't like Volkanovski, again, you're probably just a Dagestani Islam fan, to be honest with you. We'll do two more from this list. Henry Cejudo. I'll put him in C tier. I'll put him at the back of C tier. I don't hate Henry Cejudo. You know, he can sell a fight, but he's just really cringy and he overdoes it a lot. Like, a lot of the times he's just like, bro, we get it. You're trying to be cringy. Just stop talking, man. Like, he can get really annoying sometimes. Good fighter, great fighter in fact, but yeah, he can just get really annoying at sometimes, gives me a headache. He's like that one fly in your room that just won't go away. Who else from this list shall we do? Who's got personality in this list? Let's do Justin Gaethje. I'll put Justin Gaethje in the back of B tier. I'm not a huge fan of Gaethje. I think he's quite arrogant. He's never really making jokes. He's never really laughing. Again, fight style is what makes him in B tier because he's the most entertaining fighter in UFC history. On the mic, though, he's either always complaining or he just looks angry all the time. So I can't really put him above a B tier. But yeah, I would do a part 2 of this. If you guys want a part 2, I will do the rest of the fighters on this list. But this is so far. What do we have? We've got a range of fighters. We've got Oliveira and Burns, the Brazilians in S tier, and we've got TJ Dillashaw in D tier. But yeah, I feel like this is a list of, my favourite UFC fighters in terms of how likable they are. Yeah, if you guys agree with this, if you guys switch any spots, do you agree with D? Do you agree with S tier? What do you guys say? Thank you for watching.